fun.
So we wanted to talk to you today about body positivity, because we believe it's a really important thing that should be introduced into all cons, because there is just so much hate in the world going on right now. It's always nice to have that little section of positivity, you know, whether it's self-love positivity, positivity in a space or an environment, or positivity just, you know, with other people and around. So, you know, body positivity with the social media side of things, it's really important to start loving yourself. So we're going to just talk a bit about that, ask each other questions on how we deal with it ourselves personally, and then we will ask you guys questions. Ask if you guys have any questions for us to answer too. So yeah. So Georgia, how do you think you deal with body positivity?
I mean, truth be told, I think it's natural that it's kind of up and down. I feel like sometimes it's, you know, you're alright with it, it's nothing. But it's, you know, I think it's right in saying that you do have moments where you struggle and you can't really help that. But I think it's just really focusing on what you've achieved is a big thing for me. Because I think no matter your size, you can achieve whatever you want, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing is stopping you with your weight, whatever. And at the end of the day, a lot of this hate comes from people that don't show themselves on social media. You know, they're insignificant, and half the time, they just want to say something for a laugh. And they'll forget they've even put it a day after, but they won't think anything of it really. So you've just kind of got to think, who cares? It's literal randos. It'll never be friends or, you know, popular cosplayers that'll say like horrible things.
Yeah.
And if there are, don't associate.
Those are bad eggs. We don't do bad eggs.
Don't do bad eggs. And I love an egg. That's besides the point. Not a bad one. But yeah, what about you?
So, like, for me, I find positivity really important. I've struggled with body dysmorphia for a lot of my life. I have PCOS, so my weight gain fluctuates. I lose weight, I gain weight. I even had a gastric band fitted in 2020, which was the worst decision of my life. It just made me really ill. And I've only just recently recovered from having that being taken out, as well as all the other inflammations that caused. So I had a lot of health issues. So I just don't follow pressures. Like, I've been there, done that, and I know a lot of people have felt pressure to look a certain way, act a certain way, and you know, that's not what it should be. It should be how your body, you know, you should look in the mirror and go, that's me, this body has taken me through every single step of my life. I should start appreciating it more and loving it more, and just looking after myself and not bothering about what other people say or what other people think, because it's my body, this is my experience, you know. And it's really important to not get drawn into the pressures of being skinny, or you've got to look a certain way. You know, you've got loads of people think you've got to look a certain way to do a cosplay, for example, and you don't. All you have to do is just wear it. I mean, literally, just before I got mic'd up, all I was in a wig. You know, so it's just me in a wig, and that's my cosplay. And that's how I like to do cosplay, and that's how my body likes to do cosplay, because of having to adapt to lots of different things is quite difficult in itself as well. So, you know, I think having a space where you can talk about it openly makes a massive difference to just like being shut off and having just the negative comments around you. So yeah, one of the things is, how do you deal with hate?
It's a tricky one. I think it's remembering the people that are around you, speaking to the people that you love and the people that love you. Because like I say, they're so insignificant, these random people. And the truth is, if someone's doing well, they're not going to bring you down. Because if you're happy in your loving life, why would they go like, oh, look at that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to be in a crap place, a horrible mindset to then hate on people. So you've got to remember the people that are actually important. Are they saying those negative things? No. Maybe it's a joke, you know? But that's just, you know, that's just the humour, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's just speaking to your loved ones, remembering just that you love, really. I think that's the main thing for me is they're just so insignificant, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They don't, you know, much as that one comment can affect your entire day, what you've got to think of is, just like Georgia said earlier, that comment, they don't even know they put it. 15 minutes down the line, they haven't got a clue that they put that comment. They don't care. You know, I got some severe backlash not so long ago. I posted a picture and I got loads of hate. And I either, one, troll them back, because they're just trolls at the end of the day, and they're giving you free engagement. Just
I love your comments back. It's great.
You've got to come back with witty comments back. Or just post something really random back to them so they're like, what? Literally, I just type, like, I'll just get my keyboard and just like type. Just like, just not bothered. And it will just be like, hey, you know, like loads of different random letters. And they will always come back going, what did you just say? And I'm like, well, you're too stupid to understand. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's clearly something's wrong.
Yeah.
So you just got to troll them back and like, you know, just really don't let it set in. I said, I've been there where you just get comment after comment after comment of people just judging your body. And at the end of the day, they're not living your life. They're not living your experience. They're not going through any of the things you're going through. They are faceless people who don't matter. They're just doing it there because they hate themselves or anything else, whatever reason that they're doing it for. But what we should do is just try and sort of like take a minute. If it's affecting you, you just need to have a sit down. Whether you put your phone on mute for an hour or so, just don't get those notifications, don't listen to them, and then come back to them in a headspace when you can deal with them. Then that's always a good idea to do. Yeah, it's quite difficult to sort of block it out, and I know it is. And it's easy for me to sit here and say, just block it out, it's all good, you know, don't listen to them. But you know, I know deep down it can affect you, and it can really affect your self-esteem as well. So like, what I do personally is I look in the mirror and I just say 5 things I like about myself. And that sort of seems to help that mindset then change to actually, no, I'm not being negative, I'm going to start just appreciating myself. You know, I just say, I like my smile, I like this, I like my tattoos, I like this. I know you can't see my tattoos, so that's kind of irrelevant right now. Yeah, so like, just focus on yourself and not the negative sides that we always sort of seem to fall on to focusing on. Focus on something you find that's positive. Like I said, it can be so small as your smile. It can be so small as you like how you talk, you like your accent, you like how you laugh, you like how your hair was that day. And those things, really, you can really start to build up on that self-love and really starting to block people out. When they say negative things about you, you can block things out by just saying, you know what, actually, I look banging today. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to sort of build up on that. You don't just start it. And if you struggle with self-love, like, that's really hard to do to start with. And like I said, that just looking in the mirror and saying 5 things you like about yourself just really makes a difference and can really impact how you view yourself.
Yeah, I think as well, like, obviously in recent times, I use those, normally sometimes I might delete some because I think I can't face it right now, and then I'll delete some. But in recent times, I made a video, I don't know if you've seen it, where I literally read out the hate comments in my stupid voice. And do you know what, it's a 360 spin, because then everyone's finding it funny, but they're not laughing at me, they're laughing with me, because I can take the mick out of them. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to, you know, keep a username in. Might get me in trouble. Sometimes, you know, it's public. So I think just, that's another thing, like you say, it's more engagement. You make that video a minute long, you're going to get money from it, just from people, you know, taking the mick out. Yeah. You just 360 spin it and just laugh back at them. Yeah. Because they do come out with some weird stuff, you know. It's just mad. Yeah. It's just mad what they say, but yeah, it's just, they're so insignificant. They are randos. And there might be a handful today, and they'd never come up and say something to you. Yeah. That's just how it is, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It definitely should be like, if you can't change that thing in 30 seconds, it shouldn't be something you focus on. Like, your makeup might smudge. You can sort that in 30 seconds. You can't sort your height, your weight, your colour of your skin, you can't sort any of those things out in 30 seconds or ever. You know, so those are the things that when people target those things, that's you should try and look away from that and go, actually no, this is me, I am happy with being me, these are my positives. And even if you can only make one positive about yourself that day, you've made one positive. You've beaten that negative. You've got to change that mindset of always being negative, you know, and it's like, it's just really important to have the positivity about yourself, and just, you know, being around positive people as well really helps. So what's one thing you like to do to help you with self-love?
See, it's really bad because I just say a nice big bag of crisps, but that's kind of against what we said, isn't it, really? But
no, it's not.
That's one of the things, is like, you know, don't be afraid to just, I don't know, I think that is part of self-care sometimes. It's just, literally, just eat what you like. Because we've all tried diets here and there, which, you know, sometimes work, sometimes don't, but it's just do what you love, do you know what I mean? What do I have to do for self-care? I mean, to be honest, in some ways, I think cosplaying does help.
Definitely.
Particularly actually filming the videos. I don't know if you agree, but like, when you're in cosplay, that confidence just grows, doesn't it? It's like, who the hell is that person?
That's not me.
That's definitely not me. It's like, because obviously sometimes when you're yourself, you might not feel as confident. And I do loads of videos now, just chatting away. But when I'm just me, I get a bit more shy, a bit more timid. So I think being in that costume is like a bit of a mask. But I don't even think it's necessarily a mask. It's just a different way to express yourself and help yourself feel confident. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just, I don't know.
It's another version of you, and it shows how much you love that thing you're cosplaying. And also then, like, other people come up to you and speak to you and be like, oh my god, I love X, Y and Z. This microphone is very annoying, I'm sorry guys. You know, like, I love X, Y and Z too, this is really cool, you look amazing, and then you're like, you look amazing, and that always just helps massively with stuff like that as well. Like, my confidence, I really found my confidence through cosplay, and I think cosplay is a really important thing. Like, when you start feeling insecure about yourself, when you can not be yourself for 5 minutes, it's nice to just sort of like go, oh, I'm so and so, you know, I'm supposed to be Gojo, but I don't have my cosplay on right now. So let's pretend I'm Gojo right now.
Because I know me. Where's Ginger gone? Sorry, I'm meant to be on a panel with Ginger.
And Rumi's here, obviously.
Where? I'd love to see Rumi. Where is she? Sorry, Dad. You can't take me anywhere.
Yeah, so... No, it's fine. Yeah.
She doesn't like the microphone.
She's really tight on my ear. Yeah, it's cosplaying, I think, definitely, for me personally anyway, started a gateway of loving myself. It really helped to, like, put into perspective the things I did like about myself. You know, I could accentuate that side of things that I really like. You know, I really like cosplay when I've got my tattoos out, which I'm not doing again today. But you know, like, that's something I really like to do. I really like to have elements of me within my own cosplay, and I think that's also a really powerful thing when you can start making a cosplay you. You're not just the character, you are also you and that character. You are expressing both sides. You're expressing the love for the character you have, as well as starting to love yourself and starting to appreciate the things your body does and how much your body does for you as well.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think people need to get over, is you have to be 100% canon as well. You have to be, you know, oh, they don't have that tattoo, they don't have this, they don't have that. It's like, I know they don't, I'm not silly. Well, I'm silly, that is what it's all about for me, is making it your own. And exactly like you say, it doesn't then become a mask, it's a part of you. And that's the best thing. We don't, you know, I don't want to fully become someone else. I still want elements of myself.
Yeah, I still want to be me, but me in a wig. Or me in a shell-shaded costume.
Yeah, that's it. Me covered in paint. You know, I'm crying, but that's beside me. And as well, it's bringing the personality into it.
Yeah,
It's just, I think just Comic-Cons are a big help with that. Because social media, that's where a lot of the negative comments come. But I don't think you experience that at a con. Everyone's just so lovely to each other. You make loads of great friends that'll make you feel better, more supported. I just think that's a great way to help your confidence in yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like meeting new friends and meeting people with the same interests as you, whether you're actually cosplaying the same thing, me and Georgia are great friends. We don't cosplay anything alike at all, but we bounce off each other. And once you find that set of people, it makes a massive difference as well. Like, you're all then in the same boat, you're all loving this character or cosplay or whatever else. And then once you're in that cosplay and you're in the con community space, you do constantly get compliments. You get compliments like, oh my god, your wig is really cool. Oh my god, that outfit's really cool. What you've just made is really cool. What you just bought is really cool. It doesn't have to be bought, made, whatever. All cosplay is relevant and all cosplay does help. And it just helps build that confidence to be like, do you know what, this is me. And I think that makes a massive difference to yourself as well. You are surrounded by just really lovely people.
I think that's the important thing as well, is please don't ever stop cosplaying. If you get those comments, because I know sometimes it can get to a point where you're like, oh, it's not worth it. Especially if you're still in school. I know people have said to me that they stopped cosplaying because of bullies and stuff like that. And trust me, they're not relevant when they grow up. Sometimes they're actually nice to you when they're older. It's like, I don't remember you now. I don't remember where I was going with that. I was going to say more. That's me every time.
You have to get back to me.
You're going to have to take over. No, sorry,
You got it.
Yeah, just please. Honestly, you can tell us something going on with you. But yeah, it's just like, please don't stop, because I promise you it will pay off. Because this is the thing, I do Jinx, don't I? And let's be real, I don't have the typical body type for Jinx. I don't think a lot of people have the body type for Jinx, but it's one of them.
Cartoon. Nobody has a body type. It's a cartoon.
Literally. So please don't let that stop you. If you're having a bit of an off day and you think, oh gosh, AnimeCon Manchester, I nearly didn't wear Jinx because I was like, oh, I've put a bit of weight on, I'm not feeling good. But I know that's a big thing with my following, is like, me having that confidence. So I went there and I did it. And I did the audio of Jinx saying, you big fat hero is here. I'm not bothered. I will promote myself as a big fat hero because people still will love me for it.
Yeah, 100%.
So please don't stop because of the weight, because people will still love you for it. Because that is not what you're all about.
Yeah.
You are so much more than your weight, aren't you?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Your weight doesn't define who you are. It is you at the end of the day. It does not define you. You've not got this definition of this is it and this is all you can do because you are this body size. That's not how it works, And everyone like Georgia said, do not stop because of anything negative comments or anything like that. Keep going. Do what you love to do. If you love to cosplay, keep loving cosplay. Me personally, with my health, I've had a really up and down relationship with cosplay itself. I've loved it, hated myself in cosplay, loved myself in cosplay, and it is always an evolving journey that will continue. There's not always going to be good days, but you just need to make sure that you continue through. And Georgia mentioned about deleting photos earlier, but I've got a different bit of advice for you. I personally say, if you hate those pictures or videos right now, you keep them, because in a year's time you're going to love those videos and pictures. Because I have done that with so many of my pictures and videos now. So many things that I got as a straight away thing, and I was like, oh, I really don't like my chin in that photo. And then in a year's time, you look at that and go, wow, I really enjoyed that memory of making that thing. Rather than focusing on yourself, you actually go, actually, that's my life, that's how everything's going. And you've got to focus more on that side of things. And that's my advice for you too. No deleting photos, you've got to keep them. You've got to keep them because you might like them in a year's time, even if it takes a year for you to post them.
That's true, yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that's with this social media perfect world sort of thing, I think that's really important to battle against. You know, you make sure you love you, and you know, you can only combat that by strengthening everything you've got. And you know, like I said, even if it is a year down the line, you like those photos. You like those photos now. Brilliant! You know, it's a winner. Do you know what I mean? It might take you a while to get there, but it is a positive motion for your own self, then, and it's your own love and passion and everything else, and you will remember that memory rather than what you look like. You know, your body's always going to change. It's not going to stay the same, and you've got to just appreciate that in the moment as well. You know, like I said, if there's a picture that you ever take that you go, that needs to be right this second, you just need to put it in a folder. Just put it in a folder, so you're not dealing with it right now because you're upset with it right now. But you put it in a folder and you go, right, even in a week's time, you might like it. You know, you just keep going back and revisiting these things and going, actually, do you know what? I really like my smile in that picture. I really like how my hair looks in that picture. I really like how my clothes look in that picture. You will find one small little positive about those pictures. And like I said, you could be pulling the funniest face ever, but then when you go back on that picture, you'll laugh at that funny face. So you will find the positives in those little things rather than just like going, oh, delete it. Because once it's deleted, you've forgotten about it. And which is great to deal with, but in the sense of like revisiting things, you need to just sort of put it to the side and go, you know, I don't like that right now. That's fine. That's fine to not like it right now. But maybe in a week's time, maybe tomorrow I might like it. And as long as you just keep revisiting things that you might not like or sort of puts you out of your comfort zone or things like that, that makes a massive difference in just small little steps of like building your own body positive journey and becoming more in tune with your own self-love and just being more passionate about yourself, I guess.
I think it's finding, like you say, like the funny pictures where you look there silly or whatever, it's finding the good in the imperfections as well. Because that's it, at this point, you know, my jinx, you can see my belly line, it's honestly, it's so prominent, but it's just like, it's just being able to kind of, I don't want to say make fun of yourself, because obviously don't be, you know, ripping yourself, but just finding things light-hearted and be like, that is me, like, there's nothing wrong with it, hence why, you know, we make jokes about ourselves, I might make jokes about my size, because, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of how I've got to where I am a little bit,
It's a bit like the humour in things is kind of a coping mechanism in itself, isn't it? Like, and I feel like that's a good start in a way as well, because you're just building on something. And like I said, you are finding a positive because you're finding something funny. You know, that is making a negative experience into even just a tiny positive. You're just turning that mindset around and just really like pushing it to being actually, this is, I'm not perfect, no human's perfect. That's how you've got to sort of view these things. We sneeze, we breathe, we fart. You know, all the things that can make you move in motion. You know, you look around the corner and that photo might catch a bad angle. But actually, that bad angle isn't a bad angle. It's just you in that moment in time are seeing your own flaws. But if you showed that to a friend, your friend wouldn't see those flaws. You know, if I showed Georgia a picture of myself that I hated, I bet she could name 10 things that she loved about that picture. Whereas I could name 10 things I'd hate about that picture. And so one of the things I've always said and taught and whatever else is, start treating yourself how you treat your friends. Start speaking to yourself how you speak to your friends. You wouldn't say, oh, you know, that belly looks really big. You wouldn't say that to your friends. You wouldn't ever say anything negative to your friends. You're always there to hype your friends up, to be positive, and to sort of love each other and, you know, express yourself. And reflecting that back onto yourself really does help that mindset change and sort of becoming more body positive and accepting in everything. You know, it helps in everyday life then, rather than just, you know, just in body mindset. You know, if you start being nice to yourself, you're not going to be hard on yourself about, you know, you just messed up at work, for example. You're not going to be as hard on yourself then because you started treating yourself like you treat your friends.
Yeah, like,
I was going to put the question to you.
Go on.
What so you obviously say you look in the mirror and you say these things.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I'd love to know what are those positive things that you think of yourself, unless you want to do vice versa, because
Well, we can do a bit of both. That's fine.
So up to you.
But yeah. So for me, like in that moment in time, I just focus on the things I like. So it's physically what I see in the mirror right there and then. So for me, but I also have a really loud laugh, which you've probably heard a fair few times.
Iconic.
But one of my strengths is my laugh. Through my own traumas and stuff like that, I lost my laugh. I just stayed quiet, and it's really passionate and powerful for me to laugh again because I hated it. I hated how loud my laugh was because people could hear it, and it's like, well, no, that's the point. I'm laughing. I'm having fun. People can hear me having fun and having a laugh. One of my favourite stories ever is a convention here in the car park. My friends could locate me from my laughter from the other end of the car park, literally echolocating me through just from my laughter. So that's like one of my main positives about myself is my laughter. And I will always say that whenever I'm looking in the mirror, that's always my first one. The other ones do vary on the day, but it's sort of like my smile. I like how the dress looks on me, or I like my tattoos that day. Well, I like my tattoos every day, but I like it's the other things like the total 5 does really depend on what it is happening that day, what I need to focus on as well. Because like if I focus on my double chin, what's wrong with the double chin? There's nothing really wrong with the double chin. So actually, yeah, my double chin's going to be in pictures. That's fine. So I don't need to focus on that in the mirror. I don't need to focus on my belly in the mirror. My body is my body, and I'm looking at this, and then I can see my smile. I can see how happy I am right now in life. I can see that I'm going to probably laugh in about 5 seconds.
She's also a fortune teller.
And then I like my tattoos. And yeah, just like I like that outfit that day. What about you? What would you say to yourself in the mirror right now?
Right now, without a second, I was going to say stuff about you. I was just going to carry on.
No, you! You! It's about you right now.
I think one of the things you speak about your laugh and how you didn't like your laugh, it's the same with my voice. That was something that I always hated. I mean, everyone hates their voices when they look back on videos and stuff like that. But I think it's been kind of what I've been known for, and people have actually said that they love it. I'm like, I never thought that anyone would say that ever. Because it's don't make me cry. Don't make me cry now. No, just because it's quite low. It's very northern. But I think that's what makes me me. Definitely. To be honest, and I also think down the line, that could be voice acting opportunities. Don't get me wrong, it'll only be in Wallace and Gromit, but that's besides the point. I want to be in Wallace and Gromit. I'll be Gromit. That'll be my look, that'll be who I'd get. Sorry, yeah. So see, we love it, we love the laugh. Oh my gosh, I could make people laugh sometimes. I think for me it's personality based, but still appreciating how I look at
Looks, you need to do looks right now.
Looks right now?
Yeah, right now.
I don't even know what to say on that. I don't know, our bodies have been through a lot, so I'm just, I'm proud I'm still here, I'm proud I'm still looking the way I do, we're so hard on ourselves that sometimes you just want to look and you think, there's nothing wrong with it. That is just how I am, and no one else should think anything different. Do you know what I mean?
But you're in a roaring game out there.
I might say some stuff about you if you don't mind. Horrible, absolute. No, I just think, honestly, I think you are a massive inspiration. I think you are genuinely beautiful, inside and out. But genuinely, you are so pretty, you are so funny, you're so caring, honestly. And your laugh is amazing, as we say, but you are such an inspiration to me, and I know to so many other people, and that's just the fact. Yes, it is. that's not something that's an opinion, that's a fact, to be honest with you. So.
And
That's not a bad thing, that's
you are all those as well. You are beautiful. You are massive inspiration. You are like, you have such a following on Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, that actually, you know, you make a massive difference. You know, you make a massive difference. You sort of like put yourself out there, which I'm really proud of you doing. You absolutely combat any hate that you get. You know, you really help a lot of people. There's going to be so many people, whether you're in the audience today or so many people just watching your videos or posts or anything else like that and going, that's going to be you as well.
I hope not, sorry, no. I'm only joking. See, light-hearted does you can say to me. Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks too long. That's very good. I feel like a big reason I've become as confident as I am is because of you. I genuinely think you are amazing. I'm sorry about that, but I think you're great. I'm sorry.
interesting song.
Should we go to questions?
Yeah?
Do we have any questions?